Hey, I'm Karyn Beach, and I am the host and producer of the Success Snap podcast. And we're about to launch in a few weeks. I've got great guests lined up, and it's going to be a fun experience because I don't believe in doing anything that's not fun. So I wanted to take a minute to just show you or tell you what the Success Snap is about, and then give you a little bit of my own Success Snap journey so you kind of know where I'm coming from. Number one, the Success Snap looks at everyone's different definition of success because all of us define it a little bit differently. And if you've lived at all, you know that success is more than the number in your bank account. So what does success mean for you? What does it look like for you? Have you reached your success level? If you have, what is that like? What has that experience been like for you? And what are you doing now? If you haven't, what will it look like when you do reach your level of success? What is it going to take for you to get to that point? We talk about it all in my show, and believe me, it's never boring. So you'll want to listen and see how different people pursue success, define success, change their definitions of success. It's fun. It will be. Trust me. Now, when it comes to my own definition, when I was in college, when I just graduated college, I graduated college with a degree in broadcast journalism. And my definition of success was a big national career with maybe my own show and then making a lot of ducats. That was the dream. The reality was quite different. I graduated, took me a while to find a job. When I did, it was in radio in the middle of the Midwest, not by any major cities or anything. And I got paid once a month. And at the end of every month, I had a religious experience that consisted of me praying that I had enough gas to make it to work and back because I was coasting on fumes. Believe me, it was nothing but Jesus involved in that. But I decided that maybe I needed a different career. So I went in the field of learning and development quite by accident and ended up liking it and staying there. And I made decent money doing it. So I entered my 30s with a career that I liked, a guy that I was dating that I liked, and I could see the whole husband-child thing coming into play. Fast forward a few years, didn't have that boyfriend anymore. He married somebody else. And then I didn't have the kid yet. Now, a lot of women are single mothers, and that's great, but I couldn't see myself taking that path. I always saw myself having the traditional nuclear family. So I wanted that husband, wanted to have my kid, a son, only one of one, pushing them out one time. That's all I was going to do. And I found myself entering my 40s, still happy with the career, but still with nothing on the horizon as far as husband and child, although that ticking in my ear was going off. So I met a guy. He seemed like Mr. Right. He was very much Mr. Wrong. Married lying son of a bitch, but that's another story. We won't go there. And when it didn't work out with him, I realized that I was probably getting to the point where it's going to be too old for me, where I was going to be too old to have a child. And that really stuck with me. And life happened, and it took a very bad turn. And with all of these things in the back of my mind, never having marriage, never having a child, things at work were even going bad. I was at a low point, and I tried to kill myself. And it was in the hospital, which we affectionately refer to as the Nut Hut, that I realized I had to change the way I looked at things. I had only seen love as being loved by my husband. And I didn't have a husband, so in my mind, I didn't have love. But this experience taught me that I was wrong. I was very wrong. I have friends, I have family, I have a lot of people around me that loved me, and that maybe my definition of love needed to change. And that needed to change also how I saw myself as being successful. Because I wasn't married, because I didn't have a child, didn't mean I didn't have success. It meant that I didn't have a child and I didn't have a husband. But my definition of success changed on that, based on that experience, to show that I did have a certain level of success. I did have a certain level of professional success. I did have a certain level of personal success, because there's a lot of people that aren't surrounded by good friends. There's a lot of people that don't have a strong family and people that they can rely on. And I had all of that. I also had incredible experiences that most people don't have. I won $100,000 on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I went to South Africa and went to a game park and actually saw elephants so close to me that I can almost touch them. I chilled with Jeff Goldblum at the Environmental Media Awards. I had all of these experiences that make my life kind of richer and make my life a very unique experience. I went out to California for 2 years. I wrote a short film that ended up featuring a performance by Danny Glover. I've done all these incredible things. I have incredible people in my life. So maybe I was successful. And maybe it didn't have anything to do, and I realized this years earlier, it didn't have anything to do with money, but it had to do with the quality of my life, the life I was living, and the quality of my relationships. And relationships, I realized, meant more than a husband or a child. So that is my Success Snap journey. Have I arrived at success? Not really. Maybe I have. I don't know. We'll talk about my story later. We're going to interview great people. I've got amazing guests lined up, and we'll talk about success, how they define success, whether they see themselves as successful, advice they have on success overall. It's going to be a great time, and I am cordially inviting you, yes, you, if you're still watching this, to participate in the Success Snap experience. Be a success snapper, and I will see you soon. Thank you.